Raider Nation, what's going on? You're watching the Raiders Report, and here's our post-game reaction of the Raiders' 26-19 loss to the Cincinnati Bengals. And let me just say this clear. Even though I am upset that the Raiders won, even though that the Raiders lost, even though they had plenty of opportunities to win the game, I want everyone to go down in the comments and type proud. Because I am proud of this football team for everything that they faced this season, from John Gruden to Henry Ruggs to Damon Arnett to even the late season shit going on with Nate Hobbs. This team stood tough. They played a tough ball game today. And even though they did not convert in the red zone, when it really comes down to it, the two biggest reasons why the Raiders lost this game today. They were in the red zone 5 times, 4 field goals, 1 touchdown. It's not going to get it done. Also, it was just the fact that the offensive line, the amount of penalties against the Raiders' offensive line today, the amount of drops in clutch situations was the biggest reasons why Las Vegas ended up losing this game. Now, if you guys want to get your questions, your comments on the show, you got to use hashtag Raiders, or you can super chat. When you look at some of these numbers here, Derek Carr, 29 of 54, 310 yards, touchdown, interception. He also had a fumble, which definitely hurt the Raiders today. First question coming in here from Raiders Dad _559. Can't blame Carr when Edwards can't catch to save his life. I can blame Carr and I can't. The biggest reasons, again, offensive line struggled, but that fumble by DC right before halftime, which led to a Bengals field goal. Also, you can put some blame on DC because even though some of the drives were stopped because of offensive line holding, if you're 1 of 5 in the red zone, you're not going to win games. Statistically speaking, coming into this game, the Raiders were bottom 4 in the NFL in terms of touchdowns scored over the last 4 weeks. I know a lot of Carr truthers out there, but there's a big-time question. Do you keep Carr, yes or no? Let's go to Sheba General. Coach gone. Carr will be traded. He's not as clutch as y'all thought. Again, I'm not here to rip on DC. I'm not here to rip on Rich Bisaccia. Both those guys did a lot of great things for this organization this year and their entire career. But I do agree with this. If you keep Derek Carr, you keep Rich Bisaccia. If you get rid of Rich Bisaccia, you move on from Derek Carr. Personally speaking, I trade DC because right now it's his highest trade value. You get 2 first-round picks. You move on to the sunset. You try to move on and try to build around whatever you got going on. Or you keep Derek Carr at his $19.9 million contract. But if I start seeing rumors about Carr wanting a contract extension, $30, $40 million, which I have seen, to me, that is a big fat no. Let's go to Steve L. Gruden, Ruggs, Arnett, subpar, draft choices, Jerome. Yeah, I mean, again, all these things can filter into that discussion. This is the reason why, though, it's why I'm proud of the team. And you saw that one from Steve as well. Nobody gave us a shot. We were 6 and 7 at one point. And from top to bottom, the Bengals are a better football team. The Bengals outplayed us today. And in a game where even Cincinnati did not play well, they deserved the win. They got it done when it mattered the most. And the Bengals were a better team today. And at the end of the day, you have to be able to accept that. Even though it pains me because obviously, man, I wanted the Raiders to win. Now, to make sure you guys never miss anything going on around the silver and black, I'm going to give you guys videos every single day during the offseason. There will not be a day, and I promise you this, there will not be a day the entire year where I don't give you guys a video, where it's draft, free agency, I don't care if it's May, June, July, I'm dedicated to y'all, and I need my Raider Nation family supporting because this is the time of year where the real diehards. This is the time of the year where it matters the most because if you want to make a difference during the 2020 season, you need to make the right off-season moves. You need to make the right trades, make the right signings and free agency, make the right draft picks. So if you want to be aboard of making a difference here among Raider Nation, you hit that subscribe button and make sure you turn on those notifications. Let's go to Cameron. Pass interference on Zay. I didn't mind it. It was a short pass. It was a bad throw by Carr at the last play of the game. It was 4th down and goal. Even if Zay catches that ball, he's down at the 1. It was a bad decision by DC to throw into double coverage. And even though I know they love Zay Jones, but you're telling me Hunter Renfrow, Darren Waller are on the field, how was that play not designed to one of those two guys? I love Zay, but that's where Greg Olsen needs to be let go because he's a bad offensive coordinator, and when it comes down to it, you get into the red zone and he panics. How can your season be on the line and it goes to Zay Jones? That ball needs to go to Renfrow and needs to go to Waller. It's bad coaching. Let's go to King Higgins. Disappointed, but hell of a year. I agree with you, man. I'll stand with the nation no matter what. This team going to come back stronger. This game wasn't on Carr. I mean, you're right. The game wasn't on Carr. Does Carr deserve some blame, though? Absolutely he does. He had a costly fumble, which led to some points for Cincinnati. But also, you got to be better in the red zone. And, the offensive line definitely deserves a lot of blame, and I probably already said this 100 times, but Carr is going to get some blame because at the end of the day, good quarterbacks do not go 1 for 5 in the red zone, no matter how you look at it. Let's go to Sel Lau. Proud no matter what, keep Carr, get better O-line. The only way you keep Derek Carr is if he plays at $19.9 million. The only other way also you keep Derek Carr is if a team offers you 2 first-round picks for DC, you take it. You take 2 first-round picks, you take that for Derek Carr, you save $19.9 million, and then you invest that $19.9 million into your offensive line. That's what you do. You got to try to build a better team under a young offense, under a young quarterback, and around a new head coach. So let me know, you guys, down in the comments section, the Raiders wild card MVP. I know this is a frustrating game, but I don't want to end the season on a frustrating, upset note. I'm proud of this team. From top to bottom, I really, truly, truly am. If I sound upset, it's because I just don't have a voice anymore. So I want you guys to let me know down in the comments section who was the Raiders MVP of this game. Big time super chat coming in from Rusty Nail. Thanks, Mitch, for covering another season. I'm really proud of this team and their effort. I'd give Rich a $2 million bonus for doing a great job. I'd retain Mayock and Bradley and bring in Harbaugh. Here's the issue. I don't think those things happen if you bring in Harbaugh. From sources that I have talked to, if you bring in Jim Harbaugh, I don't see Gus Bradley coming back. I don't see Mike Mayock coming back. I agree that you keep Rich Bisaccia. You make him your assistant head coach. You make him your special teams coordinator. Give him a major time bonus because, let's face it, Mark Davis has the money. There's no such thing as a poor owner. But we'll see what happens. I will say this. The top 2 candidates for the next Raiders head coach, it's either Jim Harbaugh or Rich Bisaccia. Let's go to Pedro. Not what we wanted, but we can build. We know DC can take us, and the D was a bit stale, but they are now on the right track as well. Here's the thing. I don't think the defense was stale. I think the defense struggled because the offense couldn't get a long drive going. So, I like Derek Carr, but I want you guys to let me know down in the comments section. Can Derek Carr win a Super Bowl? If you think that Derek Carr can win a Super Bowl, I want you to type Super Bowl. If you don't think that Derek Carr can win a Super Bowl, I want you to type move on. Because I love DC. I really, truly do. But I can't confidently look at you, being the Raiders Report host, and say that I believe Derek Carr can win a Super Bowl. Because I really don't. I think at his current contract, with everything going on around this team, I don't think it can happen. The only way that you're going to win a Super Bowl around Derek Carr is if he takes even more of a massive pay cut and you can build a more solid team around him. I love DC, but that's just me being real with y'all. Now, if you guys want to go ahead and bet on the rest of the NFL playoffs, if you want to bet on the NBA, we got the #1 betting deal on the internet. Head on over to chatsports.com/Raiders. Promo code Raiders125. That's going to get you all 125% deposit bonus. That means if you put down $100, you're going to get $125 for free to bet with. So if you put down $200, get $250, $500, $625 for free to bet with. And again, I hope you guys still bet on the rest of the NFL games. Hopefully you guys have fun. You can also bet on who's going to be the next Raiders head coach. That's at chatsports.com/Raiders. Promo code Raiders125. Well, let's go to Edgar. Carr must stay. I don't want another 2 or 3 years of rebuilding. We need a true wide receiver 1. The Raiders do need a true wide receiver 1. You're right. But when you look at a lot of these good teams, and what I mean by good teams is look at the team we just played, the Bengals. The reason why you can build just the way that the NFL works right now is if you can get a good young quarterback, Joe Burrow, Justin Herbert, some of these guys, Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, some of these guys on some of these younger contracts, Kyler Murray, you can build around them. Josh Allen, because you can build around a young team because you're not paying the quarterback so much damn money. It's not that I don't love Derek Carr. It's just the ceiling is higher. Think about it. The ceiling is higher if you go out and invest in a young quarterback and they end up being good because then you have more money to be able to invest in all the pieces around the team. I love DC. He's my favorite Raiders player. He truly is. He's the only jersey I own. But if I'm trying to go for a home run, if I'm trying to build, if I'm trying to win a Super Bowl, I'm going to invest in another quarterback. It's just the truth. Let's go to Plasma Cannon. This season was absolutely amazing with all the stuff they dealt with. Keeping DC should be without question for sure. Here's my stance. If you keep Bisaccia, you keep Derek Carr. And I'm okay with the Raiders keeping Derek Carr and Rich Bisaccia on one more year. You keep DC at 19.9, keep Rich Bisaccia one more year, hopefully no chaos, and you give him one more thing. Here's the thing, though. If Jim Harbaugh says, hey, man, I want to be the head coach of the Raiders, I love Bisaccia, but I'm going to take Jim Harbaugh over Rich Bisaccia every single day of the week. Let's go to Josh Yo 5000. What's up, Mitch? Not the game I was hoping for, but hey, we made the playoffs this year with all the setbacks. I call that a win. You're right. And most Raider fans should. They should absolutely consider that a win, considering the fact of everything they dealt with. The Raiders are the first team. Raiders are the very first team in NFL history to make the playoffs with an interim head coach. Think about that for a second. The Raiders are also the second team since the Detroit Lions in 2000 to win 9+ games when you had a different head coach. This team did an amazing job this season. So what I want you guys to do right now is grade the Raiders' performance up against the Bengals. A, B, C, D, or F. I'm going to go ahead and give them a C grade because it wasn't great, wasn't good. It was an average Raiders game. They needed to convert better. They absolutely could have won this game, but the Bengals were the better team today. And at the end of the day, like, you have to be able to swallow that pill. It sucks. It literally sucks out loud saying that the Bengals are the better team today, and they're the better team, but they are. The Bengals are the better football team, so for that reason, I'm going to grade the Raiders at a C. Let's go to John Rockwood. Appreciate you, Mitch. John Rockwood. Man, I appreciate you. I appreciate everyone out there. I know you guys don't have to watch the Raiders Report. I know you don't have to tune in. I know you have to subscribe. But at the end of the day, I hope that you guys like this channel because of the content that we provide. So shout out to the Silver and Black. Let's go to I Don't Know James. 2 draft picks. You should understand those are about 60% bust. DC is good. Who in this draft is better? It's not about finding somebody who's better. That's the issue, right? That's the issue. If you bring in Matt Corral, Kenny Pickett, you bring in one of these young quarterbacks, which those are the only 2 quarterbacks that I'm going to replace Carr with. Those are the only 2 guys. You're going to replace those 2 guys with Carr, and you build a more solid lineup around them, and hopefully that they hit, like a Justin Herbert, like a Joe Burrow, honestly, like even like a Dak Prescott, a 4th-round pick, right? Like, you're hoping that they end up hitting. But if you decide to keep Carr, then I'm okay with getting a guy like Malik Willis. I'm okay with even taking a guy like Corral or Kenny Pickett to learn behind DC. It's more of an idea of, instead of me sitting here and just talking about the quarterback, face it, you can build a more complete team, okay, without Derek Carr because of the more money, because of the more draft picks. If all you do is focus on DC, you're not looking at the total picture. I get it. The Raiders, Derek Carr is probably better than any other option we're going to get. But if you can get Russell Wilson, you get Deshaun Watson, you get Aaron Rodgers, you go ahead and do it. Go to Michael. Michael, $50 super chat, man. It's a big one. Everyone, I love y'all. It's been a hell of a season. And if we get to 2,000 in supers, I'll do another boot, though I will warn you, I might have to take a quick pee break before I do it. Sam, man, there isn't any good quarterbacks in this year's draft. I'm not going to agree with that. The last time that I heard this is the worst quarterback draft in the NFL was 2017. Both Mahomes, both Watson ended up going in that draft. And think about it. Today's NFL, if you build a solid team around a quarterback, they can win. Dak Prescott, 4th-round pick. Russell Wilson, 3rd-round pick. Even Derek Carr. Derek Carr was a 2nd-round pick. Why were they successful? Because they built a great offensive line, because they built a great defense. They had a really good team around DC. Like, they honestly did. I know they didn't win many games early on, but they were able to build something solid. Why? Because of a young rookie type of contract. That's a big difference here in the NFL. Let's go to Bad. Love DC and think he can bring us to the playoffs again. I just don't know if he'll bring us to the Super Bowl win. If you don't think that Derek Carr can win a Super Bowl, you move on. Because at the end of the day, if you don't win a Super Bowl, it doesn't really matter. Sure, we can win games. It's fun. Playoffs are fun appearances. But if you don't win, man, like it just doesn't matter. It's really as simple as that. So here's my question to the nation out there. A lot of Derek Carr questions. The Raiders should bring back Derek Carr. For those of you that don't know the show, if I say something's 4-no Chucky heads, it means I think it's 100% true. Believe it, baby. If I say 0 no Chucky heads, tuck will tuck that, it means I don't think it should happen. So the Raiders should bring back Derek Carr. Type 4 if you think that they should. Type 0 if you don't think they should. My answer is this. It's 4 if you bring him back on 19.9. You bring Rich Bisaccia back. You go get Devontae Adams. You go out and get some of these bigger players. It's a 0 if you can get 2 first-round picks and you decide to build in the future and you get Jim Harbaugh. That's the truth. Now, if I don't get to your guys' questions, remember, you can always hit me up on Instagram. I'm at Mitchell Renz 365. My DMs will be open. I am off on Wednesday. You're still going to get a video on Wednesday. You're going to get a video tomorrow as well, so keep that in mind. But I will have more time to answer a lot of y'all's questions. So hit me up on IG at Mitchell Renz 365. Let's go to Sergio. I feel proud for the team. Nobody give nothing for us, and we are here. We need reinforcements at offensive line. I mean, you're right. When you really look at this team, right, look at the Bengals offense. Look at the Bengals offense. Look at the Raiders offense. Big time difference. Joe Burrow was a very good quarterback. He's top 10, no doubt about it. When you have a quarterback that's not a top 10 QB in like DC, you need to have a more solid team around him. You need to have more wide receivers, guys on the offensive line. If you can build a solid team like the Raiders had early on, DC can play at an MVP type of level. The issue is this. Until you build that team around DC, I just don't know if we can really truly believe in DC. Let's go to James Herb. Raiders wildcard MVP was Mitchell Renz. Nah. The MVP always goes to the nation. Best fan base in all sports. Showing out to Cincinnati. Showing up to today's show. I don't want the MVP. It goes to y'all. Let's go to Gwen the last. Jamison Williamson or a different wide receiver for the 2020 draft class for the Raiders. So here's the thing. He tore his ACL in the Natty. He was my number 1 top receiver in this year's class. I don't know if he's going to be ready for week 1 with that ACL injury, but you can either go with Garrett. He's a hell of a receiver from Ohio State. Garrett Wilson from Ohio State. Chris Olave, Traylon Burks, Drake London. There's a lot of really, really good offense or wide receivers in this year's draft. However, if it was up to me, I would throw the bag at Devontae Adams, and I mean the absolute bag at Devontae Adams. Do whatever you can do to get him over to Las Vegas. Invest in your offensive line and the rest of the way. Let's go to John. Why wasn't Casey Hayward on Chase? I don't have a good answer for you, man. To me, that just comes up to Gus Bradley being I don't have a good answer. I don't have, if I was the Raiders, if I would have looked at exactly what you did the first time you played the Bengals, where Burrow threw for 149 yards, Chase struggled, you put Casey Hayward on him. I don't have a good answer for you, but you know what? That was the Raiders' coaching decision, and if you guys want me to be the next head coach, let me know.